ultimate way of expressing yourself. You know, it's like as Bruce Lee said it. You know, self-expression is the best way to do it. You know, that's for me. You know, martial arts. That's my art because everybody's an artist the same way. You know, we got a painter. If you're a painter, you're an artist. You know, you don't have to be the best painter, but you're trying the best you can. You know, you're trying to put your effort into it, and so that's how I feel with martial arts. My name is Nick Frank. I am 25 years old, and I am a member of the Seminole tribe of Florida. So yes, I'm 100% Native American. I am from the Panther clan. So my father's an Otter clan, my mother's a Panther, so my clan comes from my mother. Been learning the ways recently, past 3 years, coming up on 4. I mean, I've always learned a little bit about my culture, but now that I'm older, I've been recently more involved with the medicine and the songs and just being more involved with the community. So that's why lately I've been working with just trying to get more involved and helping out the elders, helping out the younger generation within the tribe. What I like to do, I also teach martial arts. Teach at Evolution Martial Arts. We have 2 locations, north side, south side. I've been with them about on board 5. I've been technically hanging around for 7, but 5, you know, according to the books, technically. So I've been doing that. I've been doing martial arts since I was 4 years old. I started when my brother was 7 and my oldest was 9. Just one day, you know, came to watch class, and I kept wanting to run on the mats, kept wanting to do class with them. So my mom and dad's like, all right, let's put him in there. And then after that, I trained, did Taekwondo and also did karate at the same time. So back when I was younger, go to school, do homework, go to Taekwondo class, and then also later, I think around like 8 or 9, I started doing karate. Technically, it's called Tong Sudo, which is it's a Korean karate. So very similar to Taekwondo, but a little more karate influence in it. I did that. I got my black belt in Taekwondo when I was 10 years old. Around the same time, I got my black belt in karate as well. And then also, at the time, I left the first Taekwondo school. I went to another Taekwondo school, so that is a different style of it. And then I got my black belt in that, so I have 3 black belts under me. So I have a first degree, and a 3rd degree black belt. So you could say I haven't been doing martial arts for quite some time. I have two black belts in Taekwondo. I have a black belt in karate. I am a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. And I have a little bit of knowledge of judo, which I learned from one of my Taekwondo instructors. He was also a black belt in judo. So every now and then we'll do classes like, all right, put on the thick gi tops. I was like, okay. So he showed me some judo. I also teach kickboxing. So that came up kind of just randomly. Like I knew how to kick already. Because that's what Taekwondo is. It's foot boxing, pretty much. You know, what boxers do with their hands, we do with our feet. So there's not a lot of punching in Taekwondo. It's mostly kicks, a lot of kicks. So you know, you gotta be flexible. You gotta have a lot of dexterity in your legs. You know, because you're doing a lot of kicks at once. So I've been doing that, and then when I was probably, I want to say 18 or 19, I stumbled across Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A friend of mine, one day he came over, he's like, hey, actually a friend of mine referred him to me. He was like, hey, this guy knows some Jiu-Jitsu, you know, he kind of wants to come out, train, you know, hang out with us, work out. I was like, yeah, sure. Invite him over, he showed me a few moves, you know, from guard, sweeping, like an arm bar, or choke or two. I was like, okay, this is really cool, because, you know, what started me is martial arts. To be honest, I have 2 inspirations. First of all, was Bruce Lee, because, you know, he was just amazing. And second was Power Rangers, because, you know, as a kid, you watched it on the TV, it's like, man, I want to do that, I want to do all that cool stuff. So that was my 2 inspirations for learning martial arts, was Bruce Lee and Power Rangers. Definitely nowadays, like when I was a kid, seeing, I believe it was Enter the Dragon. My dad showed me. I was probably like 3 or 4 before I started, and my dad showed me Enter the Dragon because he was trying to, he tried to show stuff he watched. Like, all right, let's try to see what he likes. So I saw that movie. I saw Bruce Lee, small Asian man, beating up all these people, and he was just fearless. He had tenacity. It was just unlike nobody was doing on the screen too. Especially at the time. For an Asian man to be getting popular in the Eastern and in the U.S. Audience. So that was really cool to see. I love what he did. Just doing all these crazy kicks, doing superhuman stuff. Doing 1-inch punches. So I was like, man, that's really cool. And so they started putting me in taekwondos and learning something. And then later on, I believe his philosophy was a big influence on me too, of why I want to bridge out, learn different aspects. Because, like you said, you can't just stick to one style. There's, like he said, his style is no style. You gotta be formless, like water. So, so when I stumbled across jiu-jitsu, and I was like, man, this is what I need to balance me out. Because I know how to fight standing up. I want to learn how to stuff on the ground. Because nowadays everybody's learning everything. You got MMA. You got people who are fighting to do UFC. So you got to learn to be well-rounded nowadays. Everybody's learning something, especially since you got YouTube and stuff like that. I mean, you may not be like well-knowledge, but you get the idea of it. So I myself try to adapt nowadays. So I learned jiu-jitsu. Probably the best decision I ever did. Jiu-jitsu is so awesome. I had my first few classes. I fell in love with it. I love training jiu-jitsu. It's probably, to me, the most humbling of all martial arts because, like I said, martial arts is self-expression, but especially jiu-jitsu because when you do jiu-jitsu, it's life or death. Think about it. When you spar with somebody in jiu-jitsu, you're going 110% because other sports, like kickboxing, taekwondo, when you spar, you have to hold back because if you're doing striking, you have to hold back a little bit. You don't want to hurt your opponent. Though with jiu-jitsu, it's like wrestling, but there's submissions on the ground. It's mostly groundwork, but what I love about it, it's the life or death factor. Because think about it, I get you in an arm bar, I made you tap. Think about it. If that was a street, I would have took your arm. Your arm would have been broken. Or I got you in a choke. I choke you, you tap, you could have died. I could, you go there on the mat, you're like, if I tap, pretty much I either lost my arm, lost my leg, or I died. But in a sense, we take that, we laugh it off, but it's all about improving ourselves. But that's why I love jiu-jitsu. You're always constantly improving. Just when you think you're getting good, there's someone better out there. That's my personal philosophy. I say this to my students a lot. In life, you're gonna meet somebody that's way better than you, just surpasses you. All right, so either A, you already met them, or B, you have yet to meet them. So, all these people, they're being cocky and all that stuff. I don't really buy into that, the cockiness, the hype. People like bragging about themselves. Because they're gonna get humbled some way. That's how I always am. So that's why people always, when you come to me or hang out with me, they're like, "You're so chill. Why are you so, you're just, you don't brag about anything." Like I said, martial arts is my self-expression. I let me do the talking physically. So kicking, punching, or choking somebody out. That's the best way I can express myself. I believe part of what makes me today, it's not only just the martial arts aspect, but it's also a little bit of my background, my cultural background, and martial arts. It plays off. They feed off one another. Definitely I can see where some aspects of my cultural background, the way of living that life, translates into my martial arts, and the same thing that goes the other way. For the martial arts, it's all about more. Of course, we all know it has good benefits. You get your workout, stay healthy, but most important to me, it's being a better person. To me, martial arts is the only way I know how to express myself. So I tried different jobs, or I even tried being a personal trainer. I thought showing people how to stay healthy works out for me, but then I realized martial arts was the only way for me because I've been doing it for so long. That's the only thing I know how to do. martial arts, it's constantly evolving. It's I'm a better martial artist now today than I was yesterday, because I try to carry that mentality, that discipline. That's one of the biggest things I think martial arts really helped me, is the discipline aspect. Just learn to get your priorities straight, take care of business when you gotta take care of it, because that relates in our culture as well. Because there's a lot of things we do that requires a lot of sacrifice. So you have to stay away from like family for a little bit, or you're always on the road traveling. You got to go places. That's I believe the discipline aspect. All right, you got a job, you got to go do it. Especially nowadays, since I'm getting more involved with the medicine men, all that stuff. It requires a lot of sacrifice, and then that's one thing I'm learning about recently: sacrifice. You're willing to put something on hold to make you better. So I'm always trying to look for a way to prove myself as a human being, because to me that's honestly one of the most greatest things a human being can do, is to grow. We either learn or we don't. So I'm always in a constant state of learning. So every day when I wake up, all right, let's see what I learned today. So I'm always a big fan about learning. That's why I enjoy teaching. It's just because you get to see me, different sides. There's me outside of martial arts. People see me like, a really nice guy, he's funny, but to say you see your other side when you're getting work done. But in the same aspect, for me, work is fun. Like I love doing what I'm doing. So there's times I'm mostly teaching or meet or training. It's all around fun experience. I'm always laughing, I'm always joking around. But when it's time to get serious, I can get serious. But I don't live life too seriously. But there's times where you got to get stuff done. So that's my take on it. Just have fun with it. You don't get to live once, so just make the best of it. They ask me questions. Like, hey, it's like, what is it you're doing? And that's the stuff I've been trying to preach. We're not saying preach, but trying to get that out there, try to get that message out there. So I'm not gonna force anything on anybody. I give you appetizers. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give a little piece, here and there. I might tell a story or two, and then I might not give you anything else. I let you you gotta come to me. So that's how I've always been, as a teacher. And same aspect that goes into martial arts, that teaching aspect. Like, I may show you a few things, but you have to want it. It's all about that drive. So if you really want something, you have to go get it. So I think that's why that makes me a better teacher at martial arts, because I like seeing potential in people. I like seeing people use that potential. Right? Or same aspect. I lay the tools out for you. You got to pick them up and use them. Or I don't think I could ever do anybody wrong. That's not my way. Because we as a native people, it's all about love. That's what keeps you together. That's what keeps community strong. That's what helps me pass the knowledge down, because that's what my teacher said. He's like, it's just love. That's why I'm passing this knowledge to you, is love. Just as a human being. I don't got to be related to you. We don't got to have the same skin color. It's just love. Because as human beings, we share the same emotions. We go through the same stuff. Different. We may experience the emotions differently, but nonetheless, you always relate to somebody. And nothing more powerful than love. Just loving is being as a good person. Love yourself. Love another. Just be good.